The interest in having Dale Chihuly present a garden cycle exhibition in Adelaide really came from his long history of working with Botanic Gardens.
Chihuly's approach, he's really, really well known because of his charisma, his public profile, and his ability to convey the power of glass. I think that's something that can't be understated.
It is amazing. It is mysterious. It's frightening. It's joyful. And I think he's understood how to engage the public in the phenomenon of working with glass.
My name's Nick Mount. I'm a craftsperson. Our main material is glass and has been for quite a while, since we started blowing glass in Gippsland in 1974. I think the first time I came in contact with Chihuly and his work was up at Pilchuck. It was fun and funny, that the accommodation wasn't that good. The lodge was a big building like you'd expect from a summer school lodge. There were paths leading up into the woods to nowhere, and all the skills and all the information, all the culture and all the characters from different parts of the world would come there and intermingle, and party and exchange information. Dale's name was out there, and he was a famous dude, and he was the mover and shaker in the Seattle area. The talk about him and the motivation and the history of the school is repeated time and time again, and he's championed by everyone that goes there because he has, set those foundations on which we're all built.
My name is Stephen Scalizzi, and I've been involved in glass for a long time. I went to America and I got involved in studio glass practice, particularly with being enrolled in Dale Chihuly's first ever class in Haystack School in 1968. Well, this is actually the very first piece that I made in Dale's class. And it's dripping with sentiment. I'll never part with this. It's the sort of thing which you look after forever. I've got good memories of him working and directing the team in the time when he had people like Lino Tapia-Pietra, if I can pronounce his surname correctly, the maestro from Murano. And you had Richard Royal, you had Martin Blank. It was such a vibrant, multi-skilled situation, and the interplay between the traditionally trained Italian masters, of Lino being the preeminent one, and the free-for-all, let it all hang out, do your own thing, characterising the American situation, was an amazing nexus.
So my first time at Pilchuck, I was a teaching assistant to Nick Mount and an American artist, Richard Marquis. And I was super excited to go to Pilchuck and so nervous, so absolutely nervous, because it felt like a really big deal. I think working as a teaching assistant at Pilchuck, it's so great. Like as I said, some of it was a bit sort of scary, a little bit intimidating, but you've just pushed past that, and you're in a really international context, and I love that, because as soon as you step outside of your own sort of comfortable space, you just get a sense of so much more that's going on in the world. And also in terms of glass, all of the different possibilities, the different ways that people have been taught, the different relationship people have with glass, but actually all drawn together because of this kind of drive and passion. Every time you do something like that, you pick up tricks, you work out little ways that people do things, whether it's the teachers or the other teaching assistants or the gaffers. There's just so much to learn. So if you are open and are there as a sponge, that will just, you'll draw those things in, and they're really great. And it's sometimes when you get home, you realise how rich the experience was.
My first experience of glass was when I was 10 years old in Canberra at the NGA, where Chihuly had a big exhibition. And that kind of sparked my interest straight away, looking at these big forms of colour. And I just wanted to know how they did it. So my first time in Pilchuck was in 2015 with Karen and Jason Willenbrink-Johnson. And I was their artist assistant for the pre-session. My first impression was I couldn't really believe I was there blowing glass at the gaffer station at Pilchuck. Like, it was kind of a surreal moment. It kind of just feels like a dreamland. And that's kind of how I think about it, you know. Because everything else is gone. Everything else is out of your mind, and you've driven an hour and a half to get to a place where no one else is but people who want to blow glass. And so it just completely opens your mind to what the possibilities are with glass. And also just to be totally in it for 2 or 3 weeks. Like, you inevitably gain all this knowledge and skill set that you wouldn't gain in that short amount of time anywhere else.
I didn't go to Pilchuck for a long time, but Pilchuck came to me. There was a lot of interaction with visiting artists who came from all over the world. One of the major ways was at those Oz Glass conferences. So people would come from overseas to share information and share skills. And many of those people had a connection with Pilchuck. And many of the students were coming back with freshly gained skills and wanting to pass them on. The things that I saw that really excited me wouldn't have been shared if it hadn't been for Pilchuck. It totally changed the whole landscape of art glass, and particularly glass blowing. Chihuly, when he was in Venice, saw teamwork at the Vanini factory, and he went, aha! So obviously his work is made by massive teams of people, and this is the sort of thing he saw in Venice. Before that, people were just working by themselves. Like, to be able to make these very fine lines in the glass, it's just sort of magical. Continuing these traditions of making is extremely satisfying.
My name's Gabriella Bizzetto. I'm a senior lecturer at the University of South Australia in the School of Contemporary Art. I think one of the things that I'm impressed about the most with Dale Chihuly is the legacy of it continuing on and becoming such a worldwide phenomenon and institution is really inspiring. The Pilchuck Glass School has run for over 40 years and has over that time taught thousands of students. Students have been able to collaborate with really specialised artists on really specialised skills that they've honed, and it's really fostered an amazing development in contemporary glass practice.
I have a huge admiration for Chihuly, the way he works, what he's done, what he's achieved. You know, absolutely incredible, I think, for the glass scene in North America and around the world.
He made it really exciting and interesting to be part of glass, and he drew people to it. He has a great team of excellent master craftspeople working alongside him to help him realise his ambitions, and that in itself has built the profile of glass. It sort of worked in concert with each other.
You would leave Pilchuck absolutely full in the mind from ideas, full in the belly from the hospitality, and full in the heart from the people that you'd meet, relationships you'd set up.
Well, it's benefited all of us. Like, it's pretty hard to think of someone who hasn't been affected by Chihuly or Pilchuck.
Dale's great gift to us all, I think, is the way that he's made glass a popular medium for expression.